Well, Chunky just realized that we need to shoot this whole video over again. I use a ring light and my phone sits right inside the ring light. And what can you see? You could see part of the ring light on the lens. Anyways, my first take was just mumble and jumble, way too long. So let's shorten it up here. Let's get to the point. Welcome to my channel. My name is Elston, known as Chunky. We specialize at nighttime fishing, fluorescent painted rods. Most of them are painted by me, customized by me. All of these rods are customized by me, painted, even high reflective tape. It is awesome. It is amazing. Please join us during the live streams. You can see the rods crystal clear at night with the monofilament. We can see when we have slackline, we're having a bump, a tap, and a massive takedown. That's what most people are waiting for to see. We have lots and lots of fun. Let's get to the point. Let's get to the rigs that Chunky doesn't understand and probably would never use. First one is a three-way rig. And you're like, Chunky, I love the three-way rig. Well, that's fine. I just don't understand how some people tie it. Let's get to number one. How one rig, let's get to the three-way rig, how I just don't see it being tied properly. And me personally would probably never use it. If you don't understand what a three-way rig is, you need to have one of these swivels right here. This is a three-way swivel right here, top and two going down. One will end up going to your main line, which is your rod. Okay, main line is rod. Here's your rod, here's your line, here, right here. That's what it would attach to. Now, this is the rig that I just don't understand being tied. You have your sinker, you have your hook. And you're like, what's wrong with it? That's how it's tied. Yes, but not like this. Me personally don't understand why it would be tied so close together. Your hook and your lead being like this on the muddy floor, jeopardizing that catfish bite, interfering. I've seen it where people have a massive takedown with this rig. They're fighting for about 20 seconds and then the fish just drops it. Either that fish picked up both things, this weight worked its way out, and what happens, it ends up pulling this hook out. That's just my theory. What I think, I just wouldn't use it like this. Now, doesn't say I'm not gonna use a three-way rig, but not like this. I just think this is the wrong way. This is the way Chunky would use a three-way rig. Right here. Once again, three-way swivel. Right here goes to your main line. Your hook right here. Out of the way, out of the sinker. Okay? It's completely out of the way. Oh man, out of the way, tangled up. So right here, this is my sinker. It's out of the way. Now, people might say, well, Chunky, you have it backwards. Me personally, I would rather have the lead up here and the hook down here. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. As long as it's not tied tight like this. Big no-no from Chunky's view. I don't understand it. Many of you use it and you're like, Chunky, that's all I would use and it works just fine. By all means, go with it. Stay with it. Me. This is just Chunky. Chunky way. You know, you got your thing here. If you have your tight lines, which everyone says tight lines, well, your bait is being suspended off the muddy floor. That, you know, it's kind of helping a little bit. All right, anyways, rig number two that Chunky would never use and just doesn't understand when I see people using it this way. Not many people do. And the few people who tie it this way, usually it's a new rig that they're trying to use. It's the Santi Cooper Rig. And you're like, Chunky, what did you just say? That's all you ever use. You're right. But not tied like this. Let's get the rig. And this is the way I would tie my rig. We're gonna go just use peg floats, okay? We're gonna keep it cheap, affordable. This is when you add a peg float like this, a cigar float, whatever you want to call it, to a Carolina rig. Okay, this is my sinker. Here's my hook. If you take this thing off right here, this little gadget, this cigar float, it becomes a Carolina rig. As soon as you add this, it's a Santi Cooper rig. Okay. I love it. My favorite rig. That's all I prefer to use, to be honest, during the spring, summer, and fall. Okay, during the wintertime, everyone struggles. We're changing things around. So as long as you keep your peg float, believe it or not, I like to keep my peg float as close as possible. And those that are saying, Chunky, what are you talking about? What does this do? Maybe you've never seen this rig. Santee, it's the Santee rig or the Santi Cooper rig. Same thing, just the way, you know, depends where you're from or how you want to pronounce it, how you want to say it. This is your sinker. This is your lead. All this is doing is suspending your bait. This is down here, and this is suspending your bait off the muddy floor. If you have current, you're just moving a little bit. It's getting that scent. It's just easier for that fish to scoop off. Now, I've also noticed during the wintertime, this rig is not super successful right now. We're struggling. We're trying different things. This is the right way to use it. Let's go to the wrong way. You should never, never use this rig with your peg float midways or closer to your lead. What is that doing? This is defeating the purpose of your cigar float. This is the absolute wrong way to use a Santi Cooper rig. Don't ever tie it like this. I know we have people always coming new and trying different rigs, and they just don't understand how to tie this rig. This defeats the purpose. What is this doing? This is on the muddy floor. Your bait is joining the lead. You just might as well take off. And you're like, Chunky, wait a minute, slow down. What happens if there's current? You're on the boat or you're on the river and it's fast moving water. Then you'll be just fine. You will be just fine. But if you're on a lake, a pond, a slow moving river, which is, depends on what part of the Potomac, it could be a slow moving river. This will just sit on the muddy floor. This defeats the purpose. Now, if you have a fast moving current, yes, this is holding bottom. This is really going back and forth. Absolutely. I mean, you know, I still would not do halfway. I would still do it a little closer like this. You know, this is down here. You have more movement like this. That bait is just twirling in that stream, that river. Not stream, river. Fast moving river. This is going around and around and around. Okay? So this is Chunky way of tying his rig like that. Bam. Chunky approves this way. This is the right way. On the floor, closer to your hook. And you're like, Chunky, where are all the rattles? Well, if you follow me, guys, I use fancy spooks. Once you master this Santee Rig and you like the peg float, my suggestion is to move up to actual style of spooks, of dragons. I like to use the Uncle Lou spooks. This is a smaller one. I use actually bigger ones to hold up bigger baits. Not that I use big baits. I just like the bigger spook. I have this rattles. If you have any kind of current, it's rattling. I add beads. Check out some of my live streams, some of my videos, and you'll see where I like to add different types of beads. And even in between these rattles, I will add glass beads. It's just part of the show to make it fancy. Is this going to help you catch more fish? Probably not. Guys, first of all, if you have a rig that you like, you love, don't change it. Stay with it. I just giving you my opinion on 2 rigs that I seen tied wrong, and I just don't understand it. Let me know what you think on the thoughts. Now, don't go crazy, all right? Don't say, Chunk, you have no idea what you're talking about. Everyone knows that's true. Everyone knows that's true. But I just wanted to make a video in studio, and let's just kind of see where this goes. See if you enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. The main thing, guys, is that I specialize on live streams, okay? I'm a little off up here, you know? My mouth moves a lot faster than my brain. You know, it's just my brain is very, very slow. But anyways, everyone knows that. Subscribe. Enjoy the live streams. Fluorescent painted rods, black lights. It's awesome. It's amazing. We have lots of fun. See you then. Take care. Bye-bye.